Good morning. Happy Thursday. I don't know about you, I can't believe it's Thursday already. This week's just a blur. Um, you wouldn't believe it, would you? I've actually got, sorry, no, pointing at the wrong bit. I've got my blind shut completely, and yet still little cracks of light bursting through. Um, so, welcome to today's daily positive step. This is day 32, which is crazy. If you are new around these parts, then let me quickly explain what this is all about. So, every day I am going live for 5 to 10 minutes with one quick positive step that you can take to help your business. So, some are directly business related, and others are more indirect because I'm a big believer that um, what goes on outside of your business is, hey Kelly, how are you? Is going to affect what goes on inside your business too. So some will be directly kind of business marketing related, and others are a little more indirect. And I'm just checking that I'm live on. I've suddenly had a moment of like, am I live on the right page? I am, yes. I don't know why. I thought for a second I'd gone live on the wrong page, but no, it's fine. So today I want to talk about boundaries. This is a subject that's quite close to my heart as a people pleaser. That I have throughout my business struggled with maintaining boundaries. But it's really important, both from your own, mental health sake, but for your business, but also for your clients as well. It's helpful for everyone if you set clear boundaries. So, what do I mean by that? Well, it will mean different things for different business owners, for different people. But make sure when you are looking at your business, when you're looking at what you do, how you do it, who you want to work with, how you want to work with them, get really clear up front as to what you are prepared to do and what you are not prepared to do. Now, this can include pricing. What amount am I prepared to work for? What amount am I not prepared to work for? Because if we don't get clear on those boundaries, we end up crossing them without realizing and then wishing we hadn't. So charging, much less than we actually feel comfortable working for, perhaps is a common one, because we haven't got up, we haven't got clear on those boundaries before we've gone out, and then we've got into, a selling situation, a conversation. We've got flustered or whatever. We've been so keen to make the sale. We've been so keen to perhaps get our first client or whatever that may be, that we've ended up accepting less than we really want. And that impacts that whole relationship. So it's not good for us, it's not good for our self-esteem, but it's also not good for how we show up as a business owner. Say, for example, using that example of getting your first client. If you end up charging less than you want to, you're not going to be serving that client to your best, because you're going to have that resentment there. You're going to have that sort of sense of bitterness that you're not working for your worth. And so that's going to affect your client as well. And that's just one example. Pricing is just one example. There are so many other examples. Other examples might include as to, when you are prepared to be available. So what are your boundaries in terms, what days are you going to be working? What hours are you going to be working? Get clear on that, because otherwise you will find yourself, and I have done this, checking your phone, responding to queries, answering questions, doing all of that stuff at all hours of the day, any day of the week. And the last thing that you want is to be feeling like you are on duty 24/7 as a business owner. Personally, one of the big reasons that I started my business was to have more freedom and more flexibility around the times that I work, and when and how much I work. I wanted to be working less, and I wanted to be working in a more flexible way. And unless you set boundaries around that, the opposite will happen, and you will just end up working all the time. especially if you are a people pleaser like me, and as soon as you get a message you feel like this need, I must respond to it, I must respond to it straight away, otherwise it's going to look rude. That's something that I have to really work on, because otherwise, especially as you grow and you start to get more messages and more questions, you're never going to be able to stop. So you have to set boundaries. So get really clear. Think about, what you are prepared to do, what you aren't prepared to do, what you want from your business, and what that looks like. And get really clear on that. Write a list, write it down, create a manifesto, so that you know that, because that will make it much easier when you then go into those conversations, because you will already know your boundaries. And yes, it might feel uncomfortable at first sticking to them, but at least if you know what they are and you're clear on them, you're more likely to. And and then when you don't stick to them, you can kind of go, oh yeah, that was that boundary that I said I was going to keep and I haven't done, and that's why this has happened. And you will then start to get better. So that is today's positive step. Let me know if it's helpful. Let me know if you have had time before where you've set boundaries for your own business. And the same is true for life, of course. It's important to have boundaries and to know what they are, and to be clear about them to yourself, but also be clear about them to the people that you are either working with or having relationships with, or whatever that may be. If you've enjoyed this, all the previous replays for days 1 to 31 are available in the video section of this page, so do feel free to go and check them out. They're all about 5 minutes long, not too long. If you enjoy them, give them a like. If you want to see more, give the page a like. And if you're not already in my group Fully Booked Mums and you are a mum with a service-based business, then get over there, because we've got tons of good stuff going on in there too. Kelly, really helpful. Good, so glad. Have a wonderful day, everyone.